We're continuing to work on this calculator, but yesterday I realized I should add a bit more code in here, and that's because I was doing some experimenting, and you're just seeing what happens when you add a bunch of minuses and pluses, and we've nicely taken care of it on the right side, but then here on the left side, it turns into these individual minus symbols, and we could maybe deal with that, but why should we? Because this is we should not have people using the calculator like that. It should actually panic, and the within the first two characters you should have a number. So it should be you can start with a negative, that's fine, but there's no reason to start a whole equation with a minus minus or a plus plus. And so by the second character, you should have a number. So we're going to say if the first two characters don't contain a number, then we're going to panic and complain. So we'll do another one of these. So if you have input.chars.any character, and then character is numeric. So this is this is what it should be. So if don't forget take. So take the first two, and if any of them are numeric, then it should be okay. And if it's not, then that's where you panic. So we'll also write just a little thing here. Say also please don't add a bunch of symbols at the beginning. Just something simple. Later on, we could make it into a better error message, but that's fine. And so now we can actually add a new test and say, let's say, I'm going to call this one. Whoops, this is also a should panic, and then we'll say panics when user enters a bunch of symbols before number, and then of course math is going to panic for us, so we don't need to do an assert eq or anything like that, and do this plus equals 10, and then let's run this test, or run all the tests rather. And of course this needs brackets because it's a method. And there we go. So we have these are failing because we're just returning a 6, and that makes sense. Whereas this one should panic, that's fine. This one should panic, so they're panicking, and that's good. So let's go to now let's get to the math. So let's see, where were we? We have this result vec here. So we're not printing it anymore. And so this is a vec that's full of stuff like, it'll be full of things like this, numbers, no plus signs are going in there. And then we're going to count the number of negative signs to see, what we're going to do. So first let's, of course we have to start with the total. And total is going to be 0 because we haven't done anything yet. And then we do mute adds equals true. So this thing will keep track of if we're adding or subtracting. And then let's put together math iter, and we're going to take the result vec and into iter. So we'll just this is a little bit more expressive, calling it a math iter, I guess. We actually don't need to do that, and Clippy is going to say later on, hey, you didn't need to do that, but that's fine. So while that's entry equals math iter dot next. So this is as long as math iter still has something and we're calling it entry, then we're going to say, okay, we have this entry, and what are we going to do with it? Well, first we'll see if it has these negative signs in it. Whoops. Here we go. So if it has a negative sign, then we're going to say, okay, how many are there? If there's if there's an odd number, then we're going to switch it around, switch this adds around. But if it's even, then it's nothing, because minus minus is plus, and that means nothing. So let's see, entry.chars.count. So that'll give us how many there are. Modulo 2 equals 1. So this is this means it's an odd number of minus signs, and so adds equals match adds. And then if it's true, then now it's going to be false, and if it's false, then now it's going to be true, like that. And then we will continue to the next item, and then else, let's see, continue, and then else, if it's not odd, then we'll just continue, and we'll go to the next item. And then we go down to here. Let's see. There we go. If so, now we're finished looking at minus symbols, and the only thing left is going to be numbers. So we're going to see, are we adding or not? And if we're adding, by the way, Clippy's going to tell us about this as well. Look forward to that. So it's adding, and we're going to say total is going to be plus equals entry dot parse it into an i32, because we're adding i32s to i32s. And let's see, we can unwrap because we are guaranteed for this to be a number. So that is safe. And otherwise, then it's going to be a subtraction. So entry parse i32 minus equals, there we go, unwrap. And then at the very end of this, once we're done subtraction, don't forget to say adds is now equal to true, because we're moving on to the next character, and we're counting the minuses anew if they're there. And then finally, we have this total here, and we just return it. And now our test should work. Hopefully they'll work. And there you go. So all of them are passing. So 1 minus 2 is minus 1. 1 minus minus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. And so our logic is finally working. So so first we use this to see if it's plus or minus. Do nothing with pluses. Clear this string. Push everything into the vec, and then we do some other things here. Basically, this is the most important part: is see what the number of minus symbols there are, and use that to keep track. And then after that, it's easy, just parsing and adding or subtracting. And in the next probably two videos, maybe 3 videos, we're going to make this look a bit nicer, because there's no it'd be nicer to put everything into a calculator struct, and kind of maybe make some of these description or these names more descriptive. Maybe add some like a clear function or something, so it feels more like a calculator. So we'll do that in the next video.